Ladies and gentlemen, this is Joe's Classic Video Games back with another cool pinball repair video for you this evening. We had a customer bring us his wonderful Space Odyssey pinball machine. We've worked on a couple of these before. We've probably had, counting Space Mission, its brother, we've probably had 7 or 8 of them that we either owned or worked on. So it's a very popular game. They sold a bunch of them, I believe. Space Odyssey is the 2-player version, and Space Mission is the 4-player version. They came out about the same time and had the same gameplay basically on the Playfield, but it's just a 2-player and a 4-player, as the companies did back then. But it's a desirable game. One, because of the cool back glass and just the cool space theme, and two, it's just fun to play. So it has this swinging target here in the middle, and it has this cool space theme kind of bonus. Here you can see that it's got a pretty open playfield because they, if they spend a lot of money on the motor that runs that target, there's an actual like a motor under there that they had to pay for. Maybe they left a couple other things off, right? It also has kickers down here at the bottom, so the ball falls in there, and instead of it having just the slingshot kicker like most games do, the ball lands in there, you get points, and then it shoots out. And it kind of sometimes is aimed where it hits that swinging target if the target is in the right spot. Now, by swinging target, that's just what they call it. But, swinging you would normally say is something suspended from the top. This one is just reversed. So it does like this the whole time. It just moves around. And if you hit it, it advances the bonus and the lit value of the so-called swinging target. But there's a little motor under there, and the motors were more expensive than the coils and the other stuff. So because of that, maybe it's not quite as loaded up as some of the other games, but it's still got, So it has 2 pop bumpers instead of 3. Most games had 3. We were working on one the other day that had 5, right? And then you have this kind of horseshoe thing up here where the ball just rolls through it. Nothing happens in there except you hit a button. And then you have 2 saucers, one on the left, one on the right. Okay. And then the 2 kickers down here like normal and the 2 flippers like normal. So a little bit of a sparse playfield. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to actually clean the playfield on this first. Now this is for a customer. He owns this and he brought it to us to work on. So we put a sold tag on it so nobody tries to buy it from us. At least until we can get in touch with the customer. But that's what it looks like to start off with. It's filthy. But with the exception of that, it looks to be in pretty good shape. There's a little bit of wear here, but not horrible. It's not horrible. And then there's a little bit of wear coming out of the kickers, mainly this one, but not horrible. Usually they're actually much worse than that. So that's how we're starting. We're going to pull the glass off, and I'm going to have Joe clean this sucker up for us. Joe got it all cleaned up. Let's see how it came out here. It's got a pretty nice little shine on it. Pretty cool. There is a little bit of wear on it, but not enough to be too concerned about, I don't think. So, you know, you could go in and try to touch all that up and make it perfect, but it's whenever it's very minor like that, we usually just leave it, and you know, it has it looking a little worn, but that's how it's supposed to look. It's old. It's certainly not worn enough that it causes you problems. And if you tried to touch up, well, you could touch it up and make it look new, but it's close enough to me that I don't mess with it. Now, if there's major areas with paint missing, as you know, if you've seen our previous videos, we usually touch it up. But I think for this one, it's just the right amount of patina. That's right, I said patina. So he didn't run into any big problems. And you can see it's got a nice little sheen on the playfield now. Look at that. See the lights? Gorgeous. All right. Well, we haven't even looked in it yet. We usually don't do that first, do the playfield first, but this time we did. So let's pop up the playfield and see what it looks like inside. All right. So look at the tilt bob. It's permanently tilted. Boy, that'd be a pain. So the way that works is this little weight goes on there and it's suspended, so if you shake the machine it hits the side and shorts it, and it's graduated, so if you if you have it up like this, it doesn't have to move much before it shorts, but if you have it down like this, it has to move much more before it shorts. So that was just hanging there, but it looks like somebody's been messing with it too. What do you think? Okay. Some random screws over here. I wonder what that's from. I don't know. Look at the chimes. Boy, I've had the crap beat out of them. Look at that. Good Lord. It's gonna be the worst sounding chimes of all of the times. We'll figure it out here in a little bit. Something back here is humming. You know why I don't mind the hum? Because it reminds me of the beginning of I Feel Fine by the Beatles. I can't do the rest of it. We'll get arrested for ripping off Sony or whoever owns that, Capitol Records. So it's probably, let's see. Yeah, the lock relay back there. So we'll mess with that a little bit, see if we can quiet it down any. Everything looks pretty good. It needs to be cleaned up, obviously, but that's what we're here for. Let's talk about these just a little bit more. So what's going on here is the rubber grommets have dried out, and then they start falling apart on these chime bars. Okay, so the way you make these things sound good is you isolate those bars from the metal posts that hold them up, so that they actually boom, you know, like a chime is supposed to. So if the rubber dries out, they start banging against the aluminum casing there or whatever, right? And they start chipping up. See all the missing metal everywhere? Everything's all chipped up, messed up, cut up. Well, all of that has fallen down here, which always kind of freaks me out because, you know, it's metal flakes that are falling all over everything, so it could short something out. I guess it couldn't really because it's not big enough to, but it would have to land on something and then something else next to it that's a different voltage and connect them together So like if you dropped a nail in there, it'd be real easy for it to short something out. But I've seen, not in this situation, but I've seen, that's basically metal dust. It's bigger than dust, but I've seen like a trail of dust short things together before. So we'll clean that up. We gotta get rid of some of that. And it's everywhere. It's even all the way over here. It's kind of hard to tell, but that's also metal shavings. See some of it up there too? So it's just went all over the place because those chimes are just beating themselves to death. We'll have to fix that. There's a little bit of stuff back there, but nothing major. Okay, so let me tip up the playfield, and we'll look at the bottom of the playfield and see what kind of shape it's in. All right. So, the flippers, original, don't look like they've had much done to them. We'll get them a little stronger, hopefully. Or they may already be super strong and don't need it. It says shooter relay. Here is the motor. So that motor constantly moves. So you would think that that might have some problems, Now, if I turn it by hand, it is moving, but it's rubbing against the playfield. Let's see if I can get it to keep going. So we got to get that not rubbing against the playfield, which probably some kind of little bushing, or it just needs mounted different or something, but that won't be no problem. Kick out coil over here, like a saucer. That seems to be pretty good. Some sort of bonus unit here. It says they're referring to it as a bonus unit. So there's our bonus unit, very simple one. Easy, easy, easy to clean, easy peasy. There's the two pop bumpers. Let's see if the blades are broken on those. Sometimes the blades break. On the switches, nope, they all look fine. This is actually the spinner wire. When you turn up the playfield like this, sometimes on some games, what happens is the spinner hangs in a weird place and shorts that together where it's stuck together, which locks on your bonus coil. Let's see if it's going to do that. No, it won't do that on a Williams apparently. So as the spinner spins around, it makes that long blade hit the other blade. But on a ballot, you have to be careful putting this thing up like this. It'll lock on that step-up coil on your bonus unit and burn it up. Couple relays down here. What do they say? I can't see. They mounted the stickers upside down. 5,000 point relay and 50 point relay, I think is what it says. And then over here, some other sort of bonus unit. I think this is for the thing in the middle. Very similar to the other one. And then you've got this whole, it's not really technically a bank of relays, because a bank of relays gets reset all at one time. It's just an assortment of relays. So it says bonus relay, and then this one says double bonus relay. This one says A relay. This one says B relay. What do you think this one is? It's the C relay. This is the change relay. It's always an interesting one. The advance relay. And the super advance relay. The swinging target relay. And the setup relay. I guess none of this works without the game started, so that's good. Another kick-out saucer. Very fun game. People love this damn thing. Space Mission and this one, Space Odyssey. The only difference that I'm aware of is that Space Odyssey is a 4-player. I mean, yeah, Space Odyssey is a 2-player and Space Mission is the 4-player. What have we here? Seems as if this is some kind of mod. So there's a button And it looks like somebody may have put a piece of paper in it to keep the switch from sticking together. Oh no, it's a piece of sandpaper. So they were probably trying to clean the button. I don't know, but it is connected right now. So maybe they were having problems and did that so that it wouldn't stay shorted. So I'm going to bend this out a little bit. Okay, so now it's not touching. And if I hit the button on the top, if I can reach it, well, that's that one that's underneath the thing. Let me see if I can hit it. So that's how it should be. I don't know why they had the paper in there. I don't know why they didn't just bend it. Something to keep our eye on, though. Other than that, I don't see anything on it that looks hacked up or messed up or missing or any of that. Everything looks all right. Now, this is a late enough pinball machine that it actually has DC. I think they did the flippers and the pop bumpers with DC. So that came from the factory with a bridge rectifier so that they could run the flippers on DC. Yeah, let me see. It talks about it up here on the top. Let's see what it says. Or maybe it's just the pop bumpers. It says, the jet bumpers on this game operate on direct current, providing increased playfield action. The bumper switches are equipped with contacts made of a special alloy to withstand high current. Should a bumper become sluggish or inoperative, cleaning contacts with a point file and resetting gap to approximately 1/16 inch will restore original fine bumper action. So I guess it's not the flippers, just the pops. I may be wrong about that, but we'll figure it out. Okay, so yeah, underneath the playfield, everything looks cool. Let's look behind it in the back box. Okay, so they've cut a piece of paneling for the back door. It's missing. And they have a little hook here that's holding it on. A little metal flap. All right, but the actual mechanics in it looks just fine. So you've got a couple latching relays. Now, what were those before? That's probably the let's see, 10, 100, 10,000, 100,000. That's the, let's see, 10, 100,000, 10,000, 100,000. That would be the 100,000 latching relay. So basically the game can display 99,990 points, and then if you roll over another 10 points, you get to 100,000, and it locks on a light. So that's what that would be for, one for each player. And then you probably have a 10 point, 100 point, 1,000 point, relay. There's probably not a 10,000 point relay. And then there's probably a reset relay. And then this is how they actually switch back and forth between player 1 and player 2, because they didn't use a player unit on these 2-player ones. They didn't need it. I believe that's how it works. So this is the coin unit, of course. And finally, I guess this is some kind of ball count unit. Okay. We've got 3 sets of Jones plugs here. Probably 1 from the playfield and 2 from the bottom. Up here we have a little match unit. This is a 0 to 90 unit, or as our friends at the Goat Shed EM Pinball Repair Palace in Australia say, the 0 to 90 unit. I think that's what they call it, or the 0 to 9 unit. The match unit. All right, so everything looks cool, just needs cleaned up, and the chimes are going to need some work, but everything looks pretty decent to me. So let's see if it'll even try to play. Okay, so brand new pinball. You got a nice clean playfield. You want a brand new pinball, right? Now, we used to not even try to play them. We'd just start cleaning them and fixing them and all of that because everything needs to be gone through. But then I started thinking, you know, the customer's never going to do that. So like this is a customer's game. You know, they bought this and this, they own this. They would have at least tried to play it, or how would they know it's broke, right? So I kind of want to get the customer's viewpoint of what it's doing, because if I go through it and don't even try it and then fix it all, I don't even know if I fixed anything. I probably did, right? So I figured we would recently we've been trying to at least try to start the game just to see what the customer ran into whenever they tried to start the game. Okay, so I've noticed on the back box there's a couple strange things. One, there's a score on it, 1980, so it probably is at least working in some way. And then if you look here, see how there's two numbers there? Well, what's going on is the number over here is actually fake. It's just a sticker. It's not actually a score reel on this last one. So that has slid off and has moved over to that point. Now on this one, it looks like it's also popped loose. But we'll fix that later, okay? So we'll try to start it and see if the thing will start or anything. I also noticed that there's some hackery going on here. And there has been a micro switch added. That's not original, but we'll see what happens. It looks like that is the that's the coin return, and they've hacked a micro switch to it where if you hit it, it adds credits to it. It's a lot easier way to do it, but well, let me talk about the easier way to do it. So they went through all that trouble to make it where you hit that button and it adds a quarter, right? But if you go to the coin unit, there is a little bar here that spins around on the coin unit, and when you get to 0, it opens up a switch, right? So let's see if I can find it. It's actually this one. See that bar, how it's holding that switch open? If you just bend that switch to where it never opens, you're on free play, where you can play forever. Forever and ever. Or you can just take a little jumper and put it between these two contacts on the switch, and then you're on free play. So you don't need to go through all kinds of trouble to put a switch in and all that. You just make it where it never runs out of credits. Okay, so let's hit start. Guess what? It's ran out of credits. Remember how we were just looking? So let's see if their hack works. Okay, so it reset everything, and it sounds like it was trying to kick the ball out, and now it's just doing that over and over again, even though it did kick the ball out. So the score motor is continuously running. There's those chimes. Wow, worst chimes I've ever heard. Kicked it out. It didn't go to ball 2, so obviously there are quite a bit of problems. Okay, so clearly there's a lot of stuff going on. So we'll try, as we go through it, we'll see if we can identify why it would have been doing any of that stuff. So it kept kicking, trying to kick the ball out. That's the out-hole relay that handles that. So as we go through it, we'll see if we can tell why that would be. All right, folks, when I turned it back on, it went right back to game over, so that's good, which means that the lock relay is working, is adjusted properly. So it's just buzzing though. All right, so there you go. So this is what we're going to be working on. Space Odyssey. I just had someone email me. So went over, checked the email. Somebody is emailing me. They're working on a space mission right now. This is one of the most popular electromechanical games because it's just so fun. So they made a ton of them. They sold a ton of them. And people love to get them and fix them up. So I will do several videos on this one again to help as many people as possible keep it all alive. We're trying to keep the summer alive. I mean the pinball machines alive. Been listening to the Beach Boys again. All right, so I hope you enjoyed it so far. This is what we're starting with. I think the Playfield came out great, and it's at least trying to play. So in our next video, we'll work through the bottom, and then we'll have to do a video where we work through the back. And then we'll do a video where we troubleshoot what's left, and then we'll have to just play it, right? So leave your comments down below. Let us know what you think so far. Make sure to give us a thumbs up for taking the trouble to film it for you. We didn't have to do that, people. We were only doing that as a gift. We're just thinking of you, okay? So let us know what you think so far, and make sure to check out my brother Donnie. My brother has his own channel here on YouTube. We're in cahoots together. I'm over there with him often on his channel. Lately we have been working on an old pickup truck that he has, going through it. And then we've also been working on an old building that we've been rebuilding in a small town near here. So there's always something going on over there. Go check out the My Brother Donnie channel. And last but not least, if you want to know how you can support our channel, if you find yourself wanting to buy something on Amazon, as we all do, just the other day, I needed to buy some timing belts for my CNC machine. And I had to buy them on Amazon. So, you know, sometimes things happen, right? There's a link down below, underneath our videos. If you click that link, it takes you to Amazon, and it basically has our identifier in it so that they know that we sent you there, and it gives us a tip for anything that you choose to purchase while you're on Amazon. We also have a website, lionsarcade.com. We have a parts page on there where we have some of our parts and things that we use in our videos linked to Amazon. So if you follow any of those links from anywhere, basically we get a tip if you decide to buy anything on Amazon. So we appreciate everybody that's been doing that. We will see you next time on this Space Odyssey that we're on. This is going to end up being a really fun game. See you next time.